Hi everyone, Soulrise Gaming here. I hope you have a great day, and today we're going through the TT2 Master application. Now you can download this for the Android app from the Google Play Store. It's only for the Android phones at the moment. Unfortunately, it's not for Apple iOS, but this is a great app to help you utilize different skills, guides and optimizations to make Tap Titan 2 that a little bit easier for you. Now before we begin, just a quick disclaimer: the use of any information or materials in this video are entirely at your own risk, for which I shall not be liable. The links provided for your convenience to provide further information. They do not signify or endorse the website or this application. I have no responsibility for the content of the link, websites or application, and Soulrise Gaming does not take any responsibility for downloading and or the use of this application. Remember to support the creator. As I said, I will be providing a link to this application in the description below, and as mentioned, disclaimer, download at your own discretion, but it is a great app to use. To find it, all you need to do is go to your Google Play Store on your phone and just search Tap Titan 2, and the application will pop up like this. Once you've clicked installed, you will get the app appear on your phone like this. Now first open the app. The way the application works is that it syncs to your Tap Titan 2 game data directly to this app. So you have no information pop up on the screen on your main dashboard. Then go to your Tap Titan 2 app and just refresh it and then reopen the app. So for example, if I had no data shown, I'll make sure that I've opened my Tap Titan 2 app, and then once it's loaded, I'll just make sure the information matches what I see on the TT2 Master app. If it does, great, we're ready to go. Now I'm going to go through all the different menus about what they mean and everything you need to know about this app. But before we begin, I like to say, please visit the purchase. You can support this creator. He's done a fantastic job. Spent a lot of time and effort into this. You can do so by very small amounts. So you can get rid of small ads by clicking that button. Is only 99p, or medium ads, which is £2.09, or get rid of all the ads, which is £4. And also the supporter button, not only get rid of all ads, it gives you features like create your own builds, edit builds, share builds, custom categories, save builds from clan chat, automatic daily snapshots. You can also subscribe monthly for just £2.09. I do recommend supporting Jack and all the amazing work he's done. A quick shout out to Verzona X and Crunchy for all the help they had with Jack in making this application. If you have any questions about this app, leave a comment below, or you can email Jack directly by clicking on this button or message him on Discord. He does update regularly with this application, and he's a very nice and friendly guy to chat to. Now when you first log in, the main thing you see will be this dashboard. I'll go through what all this information means. So we'll come to your profile name. So this will be whatever name you typed in as your profile. 42 here is the number of people in your clan, and if you click on it, it will give you your clan information. So it will give you your clan ID, the leader, this is your guild leader, your score, your members, your advanced start that you currently have, and how many clan messages you've had, and the description of the clan. This bar indicates what your current progress is in the game. I will be referring to this section later. So this just shows you that I'm currently at stage 63,848 and my max stage is 65,714. This shows me the amount of artifacts I have, which is 95 out of 95. And if you click on that button, it will show you all the artifacts you have and the current amount they're currently being leveled. This is being shown in scientific notation, which is a general favourite term to use for all Tap Titan 2 players. If you click on the artifact itself, it'll give you a more detailed information. It just gives you the effect, the level, the amount of relics spent on it, the effect per level, and the growth and the damage and the cost experiment. Just a bit of data information. And the SP is your skill points, the total amount of skill points you have. And tournament, if you click on it, it'll tell you when the next tournament is and what the tournament is. So the next one is Shards and Pets. This is in format of European or American, which is the month then date, so year month date, and it gives you the bonus that it's going to have with the tournament. BOS percentage, so this is your BOS percentage against your total relic lifetime amounts. So my BOS is at 42.7 compared to my lifetime amount of relics I've earned. Your profile, if you click on that, will give you the same information that is in your player and clan raid information. So this is the same information it pulled from there. Below here gives you 2 charts with some stats, and you can see it in either the last 7 days, 30 days, 6 days or 100 days. So if you click on that, it gives you the statistics over time. It just shows you the gradual improvements that you've been doing. So you can see from the last month I've gone from stage 63,500 to about 65 and 7 over that period. So as you can see, there's a big jump there. This chart here shows you the information you've increased per day. So this shows that in the time period, say from 11:27 to 12 that day, the amount of time I've played in it and what I've increased from the last 24 hours. The equipments, when you get near max stage, you have a certain amount of equipment drops you get before you hit max stage, and this will show you the next level of the drops that are due. So for example, if you just prestige, we'll have a whole list of what stages you expect to have the next equipment drop. So it's quite handy to do. So your to-do list is your daily achievements to get the extra bonus of diamonds and your raid tickets. So this tells me what I've left to do to complete those daily achievements. So I've got 2 more equipments to collect. I've got to grade an artifact. I've got to prestige once. And those are the only 3 tasks I've got left. I must have completed the other ones. If you have completed all the tasks, there'll be nothing in that. And again, if you've already collected all your equipment drops from that run, again, there'll be nothing in there. So if you've just logged in or if you just prestige, it's a nice little reminder at the bottom here to say what you can still collect or what you still need to do, daily achievements you need to do. Now the three main options people tend to use most frequently is the artifact optimizer, the skill point optimizer, and the equipment advisor. The 3 links to it are in the dashboard to the right here. I'll go for that in more detailed. Now these are quick links, but if you click on the menu, it does go through it a bit more detailed on the menu bars here. So it's exactly the same links as to the dashboard, but it gives you a little bit extra options. So I will go through the dashboard options first and then go for a little bit more detailed on each one as we go through. The clan and things, clan messages is basically just data collection of your clan. So for example, if you click on clan, it saves you the same information that I showed you before. Clan messages shows you the actual messages in the clan, build, raid, members, raids. So you can export the scripts if you need to. So this shows you the messages actually being shown in the clan. And if people share the builds, you can see them as well. So it's quite handy if people shared the build in clan and you want to make a list, or maybe, for example, if you're showing, say if you want to check different types of raid builds, or even change different types of skill builds, just to share information in between the guild members. This is very handy because it automatically uploads into here. And your clan members and their levels, and again, if you click on each person, it gives you much more detailed information about that person. So it's quite handy because again, you can see their own statistics on how well they're leveling if you're interested, if you want to be a bit nosy for each player. So it's quite detailed, so you can tell if you're not too sure if one player is not really pulling their weight or are exceedingly doing very well, that you can see exactly how they're progressing. And if you are like myself, who like to help and advise and guide people, and you're not too sure where to start, this could be a great indication about how they're doing and how they're progressing. So you think they're hitting a wall, you can see exactly when they hit the wall. You can ask them questions about what changed, if they changed the build, what they've done, and much more information about that. So it's a great tool to look at. This is ban players, if you've ever banned anyone and show up there. I don't ban people, so nothing there for me. These things are basic about the T's and C's and a bit more statistics about the app, and also the privacy policy about the application. And again, as I mentioned before, if you want to contact Jack about any questions about this app, then you can email him there. If you look at information, it does give you a bit of a guidance about how to use the artifact optimizer, the skill point optimizer, how you can import builds from chat, about all the information I just mentioned. Basically like a how-to. But if you don't want to read through that, or if you still don't quite understand, I will go through in depth exactly what each button does right now. So first, click on the artifact optimizer. The first thing you should always do is click on the pencil icon here. This basically has preloaded builds inside the application. I would always recommend to click on that first, just to make sure you have the current build selected, so you know that the information shown here is correct. The top one is select your current build that you're currently rocking. So that's Heavenly Strike, Pet, Shadow Clone or Ship. So I'm currently using a pet build, and tells you what type of person you like to play. Are you an online or offline player? Or not set? I would never recommend put not set, because it wouldn't give you an accurate reading. And to be honest, even if you're not very active, I would always put an online as a pushing type, just because pretty much every single build is tailored towards online. And even if you try to use a Silent March build, this is an active playing game, so you would hardly advance. It will take you years to get anywhere near half stage on a Silent March build. So that's why there's no Silent March as an option, because it is an active game. I always put that you're active and online. Now, step amount, level suggestions will be rounded to this. This refers to the percentage or levels you wish to increase your artifacts. Because this is an artifact optimizer, it will give you suggestions of what step amounts or what level amounts you want to increase your artifacts. Now, I would recommend two different types. If you're brand new, I'll go through the 10, 100 or 1,000 options. If you start going past the thousands, then I will choose 5 or 25%. The reason I suggest you choose 5 or 25% is because once you start getting to the tens of thousands and 100,000s and millions, it will take you so many clicks, and it will give you so many suggestions on the 1,000 marks, because levels start getting ridiculously high. So I recommend that if you do get to the point where the cost of to level up an artifact is way in the tens of thousands, then choose 5% or 25%. Personally, I always choose 25%, just because I rather level up about 2 or 3 of my artifacts, or I put it all into BOS. Outside of tournaments, I normally put all of it into Books of Shadows, or if whatever is recommended. And then inside tournaments, I normally level up 2 or 3 artifacts that help push my build. So normally I do 25%, because then I know within 3 or 4 clicks most of the relic percentage used. Now, BOS royalty stands for Books of Shadows royalty, and this is how much of your all-time earned relics should you be invested into Books of Shadows. So it's basically saying we always recommend that your Books of Shadows should be at least over 80% compared to your lifetime amount. The reason we put 80% is that we find this will give you a sufficient amount of relics to play with every time you prestige. So the higher the Book of Shadows amount, the more relics you get. The more relics you get per run, the more you can level up your artifacts, and the better you can push. So I would recommend to a minimum try to get around 80% of more. So that's why I've set it to 80. And BOST royalty, the Books of Shadows percentage while in a tournament. Now, as I mentioned, I don't level up Books of Shadows in tournaments, rarely, so I'll keep that at 0. That is totally up to you. If you want to level up your Books of Shadows in tournament, you can change that percentage, but I tend to level up my Books of Shadows out of tournaments and other artifacts in tournaments. Now, hero stands for what kind of damage does your strongest hero deal. I'll make sure that I'm near my max stage first, and once I've seen that I'm near my max stage, I'll check in game and see what would be my highest hero near my max stage. Now, actually, the max stage I can get is Daemon of Darkness, which is a magic flying type, and you can tell it's a magic flying type because when you click on the hero, it shows items here. So it's a wand if it's magic, it's a axe if it's melee, and if it's ranged, it's a bow and arrow. And you can see if it's a flying or ground type, because if it's flying, it'd be wings, and if it's ground, it's rock. So there's 3 different types of damage, which is melee, magic, and range, and then there's 2 other types, which is ground or flying. So my hero is magic flying. So know that my highest damage one is spell and it's flying type, so leave that. And this is your gold source. This is Pet Heart of Midas, Boss Gold, Chesterton Gold, normal mob gold, or fairy gold. I'm following the pet build guide from the TT2's compendium, which I've put a link to this in the icon and to the top right of this video, just link up there. And the build I'm following for that is pet. So whichever build, if you are following a build, then select which gold source you have chosen. If you're not too sure, or if you're not following a guide, just use normal mob gold. And if you're not too sure which is your main gold source, if you go back to the title dashboard, go to Equipment Advisor. Now Equipment Advisor shows you all the equipment you currently have and the best ones to equip, but I'll go through that in a bit more detail in a sec. Now go to your armor. Armor is mainly used for gold and gold multipliers. Now the most suited one would be at the top. It will say if it's chest and gold, all gold, stealth gold, boss gold, and if you click on it, it also shows you the any additional bonuses that are attached to it. For example, my first bonus would be inactive gold, then it's perk gold, and I haven't got a third one because it's a legendary item. But if it was a mythic item, it will show you here it's got 3. So it's got Heart of Midas, perk gold, fairy gold. And this one says chest and gold is the best one to use. So I'll go back to my art optimizer, select the pencil icon. So just to make sure that I've selected the pet build, is online, 25%, 80, 0, spell flying, gold source. On that one it says the best equipment to use was chest and gold. I click on cheston, and then it says max artifacts. This optimization stopped when the suggested limit contains more items than the amount to set here. The default is 30. So basically it tells you that it will give you suggestions of what to level for the next 30 steps. So you can put 30. I tend to just put back 10 because I'm not going to level up more than 10 artifacts. So, and the min efficiency, I'll leave that at 1.05. That just basically informs you that optimization stop when the efficiency is lower than the value. The default value is 1.05. So I'll just leave that. Once you click save, it will then automatically tell you what you should level next. Now it's given me Books of Shadows. The reason being is, one, because I haven't got any relics to spend, and also my Books of Shadows level was quite low. Because I've put it at 80%, it's waiting for me to get to 80% before it offers me any options to level anything else. So I know that when I do prestige next, I've got to put it all into my Books of Shadows. But if you have already got it to 80%, I'm just switching it to 40 so I can show you what kind of options it goes. So there, I've switched it to 40, so I know that when I do level next, it will give me options. But the reason it hasn't given me level options is because relic amounts is too low to process, which it basically means I have no relics. If you get this message or the window is blank, all you simply need to do is, when you hit your max stage or near your max stage, prestige to get those relics and then go back into your optimizer. So I'll just show you a live example. So now I have relics collected. The information hasn't updated. Just click the refresh button, which is here, and you can see I'm only at 3% of my total to reach the max stage. And as I mentioned before, it shows you what stages the equipment is expected to drop. So go back to Artifact Optimizer. As I mentioned before, I've put it down to 40 because that's what my BOSs currently have, and it's telling me which artifacts I need to level. And it says I should level up the Retaliator level max because it gives me the most efficiency. And then these ones are suggested steps next, but the most important would be the Retaliator. And you can just either put all on max, or you can do it like 1%, so like 1% on that. Or the suggested one, because as I mentioned, it does it at 10 steps, but 1% wouldn't actually do that much. So you could follow it for exact, or you can just do as it obviously says, it's put it a max onto Retaliator or whichever artifact it recommends. That's pretty much it when it comes to the Artifact Optimizer. Now we've gone through the Artifact Optimizer, I'll go through the Skill Point Optimizer. This is exactly the same. First, you always go to the pencil icon to make sure you have the correct build selected. So this is Shadow Clone Fairy Heavenly Strike build or Pet Berry Field. If you don't have anything selected, or if it's blank, if you're new, then click on the plus icon to create one. And to create one, first you give it a name. So select the name of the build that you currently have. So if you're rocking a clanship build, pet build, or whichever build you're rocking, select that as a name. So again, it gives you the four options: clanship, shadow clone, heavenly strike, or pet. I will use pet because that's the build I'm currently using. You can click on it if you want to keep it as default, so it's always the build selected when you log in. Mode continuous or creation. Okay, the difference between continuous or creation, I would always recommend to use continuous. It just means that it loads the information directly from the app if it's on continuous, so you know the results are estimated on what your current skill points and data from the actual game, while creation basically ignores all that and just does a suggested build on the information you selected here. So the continuous is a bit more accurate because it's pulling the data straight from your Titan 2 app. So I'll keep it on continuous for more accuracy. Damage source, as it says, is the main damage source you have selected, and because it's a pet build, I select that. The gold source, same as the other one. You should know which gold source it is now by using the equipment icon as we've shown earlier, and it suggested that Chesterton was the best gold source, so I'll use that. And as mentioned before, I would always keep it as an online build, online pushing, because it is an active game, and regardless of what build you have, you always be active and online. So skills, it just shows you if you want to ignore any skills for whatever reason, you click on this item, and what it would do is ignore that particular skill and in favor of the others. This is for if you want to set a certain custom damage reduction or fixed level, so you want to be a certain level that you want to make sure that skill points always allocated to. For example, if you want Knight's Valor to always be fixed at 10, you put that to 10. I personally wouldn't touch any of this, and leave them all switch on because it does give you a better estimate or build. And if you do tweak it, you could find, for example, you might have switched off something that would actually help your build, so I would ignore that. So once you've selected your SP skill point configuration and entered your name, so this is my pet chest build, click save, change your saved and go back. It will then be able to be selected. You can always choose to edit at any time, or choose to select it or destroy it or cancel, but on this one I'll want to choose to actually use the build. So once I've chosen it, you can see it's the right build selected because the title will be there. Again, you can make it default, so every time you log into your TT2 master app, it's always selected. Because I am running this build constantly, I'm not swapping, I keep it clicked on default. This is exactly the same information as the other tab. The only difference is that it says the current skill points. So this is total skill points I have available. This is my unspent skill points I have left. And this says ignore if not enough skill points. It just means if you cannot afford to upgrade a skill point, the optimizer tries to ignore it. Instead, optimizer tries to take a skill which you can afford and spend as many skill points as possible. It will normally give you the next best suitable skill to level, even if you don't have enough. But if you want to spend all your skill points regardless, then you can unclick that, and that will just use up all your skill points. I will normally leave it alone because I'd rather go for the most recommended skill than just any skill for the sake of just getting a skill. So once you're ready, just click start, and it will tell you, so your current skill tree is what you've got in game. This is what it should look like, and the results, it will tell you the next skill starting from top to bottom on which you should level. It gives you the reason why. It says efficiency, and that's it. You can also click on this button if you want to export it on CSF file, clipboard or share file, so if you want to share it to anyone. Lastly, you have the equipment advisor. Now this is great. This pulls directly from the game, and again, always make sure you click on the pencil icon first before you do anything. So select your pet, whichever guide you got. So if it's a ship, tap pet, shadow clone or heavenly strike. I've got pet one. And gold source, so whichever gold source you currently use, use it chest and gold, pet Hartmadas, boss gold, normal Bob gold or fairies. If you're not too sure, to put normal, but if you are following a guide online or anywhere, then pick which one is corresponding. I'm going to choose Chesterton, and again, your highest hero you have once you're at max stage. This, for me, this will be bow type and flying. So once done that, click save. The top one will be the most efficient, and the bottom one is the less efficient. So you want to make sure that it's highlighted on the top on each tab, that you know you have equipped the most efficient equipment you currently have. So on this one, it says because at max stage my highest damage dealer is spell, I should have a spell equipped, not melee. So it says that out of everything, I have everything equipped correctly apart from my helmet. I should equip that. You can tell if you're doing it right or wrong, because for example, if I change it to, I am rocking a pet build, so I'm going to change it to, let's say, ship, normal gold, and I put spell. Now I'll click on that. And you can see all of a sudden it's highlighted different areas, which basically means the equipment I currently have is wrong. It's all over the place. I'm just using this example. I haven't got a pet build, but if I did have a clan ship build, I would quickly go into my game, select equipped the clan ship. I would equip slash is perfect. I'll leave that alone. I equipped boss code because it says that's most efficient, and I equipped hero, and I equipped all hero damage. So it's always the top ones. You want to make sure that they're highlighted. And if it hasn't changed after going into the game or out of the game, just press the refresh icon to make sure that it's giving you the right results. That's pretty much it. It's very simple, very easy to use. And lastly, just get a bit more information about the 3 things we've just gone through. So on this menu option, you've got the exact same options in here. So Artifact Optimizer. So if you click on that, it gives you the exact same results as we given before. The builds are the pre-made builds, and if you click on artifacts, it gives you the full artifact list. So it gives you the exact same options as if when you clicked on the dashboard. And same with skill. Skill gives you skill point optimizer, as we just went through. Now this option, the skill point following skill point builds is more for the porter option only. It gives you more customizations to builds. So that's only £4.09 depending on which country and currency you have. But if you do select that and donate that, you can get a bit more options when it gets to skill point following builds. And the skill point skip calculator is quite useful. There's 3 builds that heavily use a splash skip function, which is pet build, heavenly strike build, and shadow clone build. So for example, I'll do eternal darkness if it's a shadow clone build, and then you can do without snap, single snap, and double snap, and then it gives you the amount that is likely to skip, and passive skill reduction stage to skip 35, and is AG set complete, and that just means angelic guardian. So if you have got that, it says yes. So if you click on without snap, it says your ED level should be 22, and it says the amount of skill points you needed to get ED level of 22. And stages skip you get is 140. If you do select double snap, then it says ED level 0 because you already get in a skip with snap. So you just basically have a fiddle to see how much skip you need on these different options, and it tells you the kind of variable or the outcome you're likely to get. So it's quite handy now. And equipment advisor tab gives you the same information. It goes through the main points on the TT2 master app. If you have any questions, I say feel free to leave a comment below, or you can message me in Discord. You can also contact Jack directly by clicking on this link, which you can send an email, or you can message him on Discord as well by clicking on this link. Well, I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope this helps you to increase your game on Tap Titans 2. If this video has helped, like and subscribe and hit that bell notification button. I do release Tap Titan 2 videos weekly, and also you can see me stream every Sunday afternoon on Twitch, so head over there and hit the follow button. I hope you have an awesome day. Take care. Bye.